Hello, my name is Alexis Crook and I am an implementation consultant here at Prosymmetry. In today's video, I'm going to be walking through demand planning resources. So within Tempus, demand planning resources are typically a generic resource or a role-based placeholder. In Tempus, you can plan your demand planning resources on projects just as you can with named resources. You can make a high-level project plan with demand planning resources and then replace them with named resources when you are ready. You can also use these demand planning resources as a placeholder when an employee leaves the organization and work needs to be filled, just maybe you don't know who is going to fill the work just yet. Navigating into my Tempus demo environment, I am going to walk through some of the features of demand planning resources. So firstly, within my resource management tile, I have a view created right now that shows all of my resources. Within this area, though, I can see my demand planning resources identified by this purple icon here. I do have a view created called demand planning resources that I'm going to go ahead and show. And this just has a filter applied. Demand planning is true. So I can see all of these demand planning or role-based resources. I can see that they are all tagged as a demand planning resource. And then you can also fill out attributes relevant to each demand planning resource. If I click into a demand planning resource, here is the screen that I see. Your demand planning resources will have this is demand planning resource toggled on. And when you toggle this on, it will turn this capacity line to be purple. This is really important in Tempus to identify the demand planning resources because ultimately Tempus can understand that these resources do not have capacity. So they are never over or under allocated. They are simply a placeholder before you can replace that assignment onto a named resource. We've got a few other videos that I am working on that can show some different scenarios that I recommend you check out. Those would be how to replace demand planning resources with named resources on projects. That will be that resource replace functionality. Another one is, I'm going to navigate back a screen or two into my project management area. Another one is project templates. So we will walk through kind of how to create a project template, but I do want to show quickly that a project template is a good place for you to store information to kind of begin a project before you know maybe, again, who's going to take on that work. Maybe you have an idea of the typical roles that work on this type of project. In this case, I've got a size large project template. I know the typical roles. I know the typical amount of FTE that are required. So you can create this project template by using just your demand planning resources, create a new project that will start with kind of this framework, and then replace these demand planning resources with your named resources to kind of start to build out your project plan. If you have any additional questions, please let us know. Thank you.